Minasan, konnichiwa, Mimir desu. Today, we're going to decode the blueprint behind one of the most dynamic economies in the world, Singapore. We're going to break down how a pretty dense government strategy actually becomes a real-world story of resilience and, well, constant reinvention.
I mean, this is the big question, right? For decades, Singapore has just punched way above its weight class. And the secret, it seems, lies in this strategy of perpetual transformation. And this isn't just about economic planning, it's really become a core part of their national identity.
And the result? Well, it's just a stunning evolution. You go from a labor-intensive economy back in the 70s to the global hub for tech and finance that we see today. But this whole journey, it was no accident. It was the product of deliberate, long-term, and honestly, often difficult restructuring.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for breaking this all down. We're going to start with the why, the challenges that are forcing this constant change. Then we'll get into the how, the blueprint itself. We'll see it in action, check out how it held up under the ultimate stress test, and then finally, we'll look at the results and what's coming next.
So first up, why is this constant transformation so absolutely necessary? Turns out, it's not really an internal choice. It's a response to some really powerful forces out there in the world.
What's really fascinating here is the combination of pressures. You've got these huge geopolitical shifts, the massive transition to a green economy, and of course, game-changing tech like AI. Then you add in domestic challenges like an aging population, and you can see why standing still just isn't an option. So you're facing all those challenges. What's the plan? How in the world do you get an entire economy to move in the same direction? Well, that's where this blueprint comes in. The foundation of this whole thing is a concept called tripartisan. And listen, this is not just some buzzword. It is a really deep-seated model where the government, businesses, and unions are all sitting at the same table working together. It's so rare because in most places, these groups are fighting each other. Here, they're partners, and that creates this level of trust and alignment that lets them act fast and act together. So the main tool they use to put this strategy into practice is the Industry Transformation Map, or ITM for short. Think of it like this. For 23 key industry sectors, there's a detailed 5-year roadmap, a specific ITM. And altogether, they guide a massive 80% of the entire economy. And every single one of these ITMs is built on these 5 core pillars. It's not just about one thing, like focusing only on tech or only on productivity. It's a really holistic approach. It covers everything from upskilling your workers to making sure supply chains are resilient and sustainable.
Okay, so that's the theory. But what does all this transformation stuff actually look like on the ground? Let's check out a few concrete examples, starting with the big push into digital. The scale here is just incredible. Over 88,000 small and medium-sized businesses, these are the backbone of any economy, have gotten helps to digitalize through just a single program. This shows it's not just about the big corporations, it's about lifting up the entire ecosystem. And they are absolutely backing this up with serious capital. We're talking a $25 billion investment in research and innovation. So the point is, this isn't just talk. It's a massive, state-level commitment to building an economy that's driven by knowledge and innovation.
A plan can look great on paper, but how does it actually perform when it's under extreme pressure? Well, the COVID-19 pandemic provided the ultimate, completely unplanned stress test for this entire framework. And it was truly, truly unprecedented. The global economy had its worst contraction since World War II. Borders slammed shut, supply chains just broke, and businesses were literally forced to stop operating overnight. But right in the middle of that crisis, something remarkable happened. Entrepreneurs, like Ms. Yvonne Bach here, didn't just try to survive. They actually saw it as an opportunity. This quote just perfectly captures that mindset of crisis investment, using a terrible situation as a catalyst to innovate and actually get stronger. And this agility was kind of hardwired into the response. These new groups called Alliances for Action were formed. You can think of them as these fast-moving pop-up teams of public and private experts designed to just rapidly come up with solutions to immediate problems, everything from digital supply chains to creating safe visitor experiences. Okay, so the system was tested, and it proved to be really resilient. But what about the bottom line? What are the actual, tangible results of this 8-year transformation journey? It's the big so what question. Well, the data tells a pretty clear story. From 2016 to 2023, and remember, that period includes the pandemic, Singapore's economy grew at 2.8% per year. You can see on this chart how that performance outpaced pretty much every other comparable, small, advanced economy. And what's crucial is that this wasn't just growth for the sake of growth. It was quality growth, driven by productivity. At 2.1% per year, Singapore's labor productivity also grew stronger than most of its peers. That basically means the economy was becoming more efficient and more innovative. And here it is. This is why this all matters to the average person. That growth in the economy and in productivity translated directly into higher wages. Real median income. That's your income after you account for inflation. It went up 1.5% every single year. The benefits were actually shared. But of course, the journey never ends. Looking ahead, the next massive wave is already here: generative AI. And it's seen not just as another challenge, but as a technology that could supercharge this entire transformation process all over again. Which really leaves us with this final big question. The story of Singapore seems to suggest that in a world that's defined by constant, accelerating change, a strategy of relentless, collaborative transformation might not just be an advantage, it might just be the only real path to sustainable success.
このチャンネルが興味深いと思った方は、チャンネル登録といいねボタンをよろしく。